Trump administration fires U.S. attorney minutes after his appointment. On Wednesday, the Trump administration dismissed Roger Raghav from his newly appointed role as the United States Attorney for the Western District of Washington, less than an hour after he had taken office. Federal judges in that district had unanimously selected Raghav to fill a vacancy that President Trump had never formally addressed, making the seat vacant despite the administration's repeated attempts to install its own nominees. The firing came via email after just 54 minutes on the job, a swift reversal that stands out even among the administration's pattern of circumventing the Senate's advice and consent process for top prosecutors. Unlike previous dismissals, Raghav has retained an employment law firm and is considering a legal challenge to his termination. If he pursues a lawsuit, it could trigger a protracted court battle and raise the unprecedented possibility of a U.S. attorney operating quasi-independently from the White House, potentially forcing the administration's own pick, First Assistant United States Attorney Charles Neal Floyd, to answer to Raghav instead. The president has not submitted a formal nomination for Floyd, leaving his appointment unconfirmed by the Senate and the senior post technically vacant. Raghav, who is 57, told the New York Times that he saw his role as carrying out the administration's stated priorities, such as combating illegal immigration, human trafficking, and drug gang prosecutions, which he described as pretty normal. However, he also criticized the White House's habit of bypassing the Senate's constitutional role in confirming top Justice Department officials, arguing that when you have this sort of made-up way of putting people in these positions, the process breaks down. He warned that such practices erode morale, undermine the credibility of prosecutors before judges, defense attorneys, victims, and defendants, and are ultimately unconstitutional. In response, the Justice Department issued a statement asserting that the district court did not coordinate with DOJ on this selection, and cited a February letter from Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche to the Times, in which he wrote that when judges inappropriately act unilaterally, the outcome is simple: a prosecutor selected solely by the judiciary will not remain in office. Federal judges in Washington state had begun a public job search in January, asking applicants how they would respond to being appointed under these contentious circumstances. The episode underscores the ongoing tension between the executive branch and the judiciary over who controls the nation's federal prosecutorial offices.